Hey guys, Harry here from the Art Gear Guide. Thanks very much for joining me. As you can see by the title, this is an update on the video that I put out about the Derwent Chromaflow, and so Derwent contacted me, and I had a conversation with somebody quite high up in Derwent, and so it's only fair that I relay that information to you and give you a balanced view of what is going on and the reasons behind why Derwent have done what they've done. So, in order for you to understand a lot of things, let me go right back to the very beginning. Whenever I very first started doing reviews, Derwent was one of the first companies. It was actually a manageress who worked in the museum who had seen me getting some pencils and stuff like that, and at that time there was a rumor coming out that Derwent were bringing out their black and white pencils. Remember the set of 6 that came out? And I asked the manageress because there was none in the store, and I asked her did she have them, and she said yes. And I explained to her who I was, and so she gave them to me, and she said, there you go, you can do your review. They're not actually on sale at the minute, but you can do your review with them. And from that point on, Derwent kind of like started reaching out to me. And it was kind of like it took a little while, but then Derwent put me on to the company that actually done the PR work and the marketing for Derwent. Now, like I said to you in the other video, I had an agent that was working with that other company who worked on behalf of Derwent. And he would contact me all the time. Anything new that was coming out, he would contact me, he would let me know. We would have conversations about what was coming out. Sometimes he would say to me, right, listen, Harry, I'm going to send you something, but don't mention anything about it online because it's not ready yet to come out. And so the first product that he did that with was the Derwent Pro Color. I got a set of pencils from the Derwent Pro Color, and they came in a bag because they didn't even have a tin for it. There wasn't even information out about the Pro Color. People had got wind of that Derwent were going to be bringing out a new pencil, but nobody knew what it was. And so I had those pencils for quite some time before I was allowed to say anything to you. And when a company says to me, listen, don't say anything about this until we ask you to, I respect that 100%, and I don't. And so then, like I said to you, I got an email from that agent who worked in that company and said, listen, we're not handling the PR from Derwent anymore. They're doing it in-house, and so there's going to be a new agent looking after you. And that was the agent who I've been talking to about the Chromaflow. So, and it turned out that the reason why Derwent didn't or weren't going with that company anymore is because for whatever reason that company just collapsed. It just went out of business, which was obviously it was obviously bad for all the people that worked there, like it is for any company that goes under, for their employees and stuff like that. And Derwent found themselves in a sticky situation as well. Apparently they tried to look for another third party to do all their marketing PR, but they couldn't find anything, and so they started doing it all in-house. To the best of my knowledge, I think that they are still looking for a third-party company to do it all for them, but until they find something as good as the company that they used to have, they're going to do it in-house. So after I put the video up, about a day later, after it had been out for a day, I got an email from someone really high up at Derwent saying, could we have a conversation over the phone? So the next day, I sent an email back, just briefly outlining what I had said in the video, because I wasn't 100% sure whether this person had watched the video or not. And so, literally minutes later, because I had put my telephone number on there as well, and literally minutes later, I got an email back saying, right, okay, I'm going to give you a ring now. So this person gave me a call, and I was on the phone for about 45 minutes to an hour, going through everything that's happened and the mistakes that Derwent are admitting that they've made, and kind of like me admitting mistakes that I've made as well. So the first thing, the agent that I was originally assigned to is somebody quite young and very new to Derwent. And so when I was asking all these questions, I think that person was getting a little bit overwhelmed with the questions that I was asking and didn't really feel in a situation to be able to put a communication forward on behalf of Derwent. I think that person was just obviously concerned and worried about what they were saying, that if it went out as an official statement from Derwent, that it would have come back to that person. And with that person being quite young and quite new to the company, well, you know yourself, when you're new to a company and you're quite young, you don't want to carry something that weight. So I actually wrote an email back after the conversation apologising for any undue stress and stuff like that I put this agent under, because it certainly wasn't my intention to do that, and my apology was completely genuine. But what this person high up has explained to me about what's going on with this Chromaflow is this: Derwent have done a lot of research and they are aware that there is a market out there that is looking for... Now, this person didn't mention this pencil because obviously they can't talk about other companies, but I was the one that mentioned it. Basically, they're looking... They know that there's a market out there looking for a Prismacolor type pencil. A highly pigmented pencil with a soft core that has a strong pigmentation lay down, can blend really nicely and stuff like that. And to Derwent's credit, they are right. Nearly every single review I do of whatever pencil it is I'm doing, I always get asked by somebody, how do they fare to Prismacolor? Are they as soft as Prismacolor? And I've actually gone to the part now, or I've come to this part now, where when I'm doing my reviews, if I come across a soft cored pencil, I'll say they're soft cored, but they're not as soft cored as Prismacolor. And a lot of the time as well, when I first started doing reviews, a lot of people asked me for like Prismacolor alternatives, and the only pencil that I could say to them was a Prismacolor alternative from the Derwent selection was the Derwent Colorsoft. So Derwent have been aware of this, and they have been trying to come up with a pencil that has all the qualities of the Prismacolor type pencil, soft core, strong pigment, but without any breakages, which apparently is becoming a difficult thing to accomplish, because when you have a pencil that has got that soft a core, you're going to sacrifice a couple of things. You're going to sacrifice the fact that it's not going to hold a point for a long time. And you're going to sacrifice the fact that some of those pencils may not be rigid all the way through. But I think they're doing things to try and combat that. Now, the other thing is, Derwent make all their pencils here in England, okay? A lot of people didn't understand that when I put that other video out. Some people were suggesting maybe Derwent did what they did because of COVID and they couldn't ship products to the UK. That's not the case. The Derwent factory is not far from where I live, and it's not far from the Derwent Museum. If you go to the Derwent Museum, there's a big factory there. It's all derelict, and that's where they used to make the pencils. Not that long ago, they got this beautiful brand new factory, but it's a couple of miles away from where the museum is. And so that's where they make all their pencils. They do all their testing and things like that in there, except for things like light fast testing. That's done through the other companies, but it's all their pigments and everything else. So the Chromaflow are being done in this factory. However, this factory is running at half capacity because of COVID. They need to make sure that their employees that are inside this factory are working within the rules and regulations of COVID. So it's not running at the full capacity that it used to do. And a lot of people are obviously doing overtime that is within their rights of being able to do overtime with whatever employment law is. So I think that's one of the reasons why they're doing what they're doing. Now, this person also said to me that in their research about trying to fill this niche of a soft core pencil with high pigmentation. In their research, they found that the US was the biggest place that this was needed. That's where most of the research was coming from, that they needed a soft core, high pigmented pencil. And I think India as well. I'm not 100% sure. We didn't talk too much about India, but I think India is another country where this is something that was needed. So they've sent these pencils out to reviewers in America and India to get feedback about how these pencils are performing, whether they're going to, fill this market area that they're trying to get to. Now, at that time, I said to the agent that I was talking to, I said, well, okay, that's great. I said, but do you not think it would have been a good idea to do what was done with the Pro Color? Send them out to these artists that you want to send them out to, but tell them not to put anything on the internet about it yet until the company is until the company has got all the facts in, can sit down, do a meeting, and then go forward, and then tell them, put your reviews out or whatever like that. Because, like I said to you, that's exactly how it was done with the Pro Color. And in fairness, the person said, yeah, perhaps maybe we should have done it like that. But there's a lot of new people at Derwent, and like I said to you, you can tell by some of the products that they've been selling on their website. Like that pencil case I was telling you about that was £300, which incidentally is down to £90 now, but it was £300 whenever they first put it into their store. That's a different direction that they're going, and they're trying to kind of like, and this person admitted, we will make mistakes along the way. We are trying a different way. We are doing this. So, unfortunately, the question that I had asked, why couldn't you just get these people to do the reviews for you, or get the feedback for you and send it back without having to put it online? Because the second those videos were put online by legitimate reviewers who hold high standing in the community, everybody was going to see them, and then that's what caused the issue. A lot of people seem to think that when I was talking in my last video, my problem was that Derwent were selling this product in the US and India and nowhere else, and that wasn't my issue. I had said to the person that I was talking to that it was the lack of information that Derwent had put on their website that was my main concern. And in most of the emails that I read, that was the people's concern that were reaching out to me. Not the fact that the pencils were being sold in the US or India, but just the fact that there was nothing on the website. Now, I mentioned, when I was replying back to some of you guys, I gave you kind of like an example of what I meant by that. I think it might just be for people in the UK that this banner appears, but if I go to the Caran d'Ache website now, there's a banner that pops up on the website, and it says that all sales to the UK are paused because of Brexit. Short and simple. And so I know straight away that if I order something off Caran d'Ache website, it's not going to come. It probably won't even go through if I tried it. And what I was, and I said this to the person that I was talking to from Derwent, I explained that as well, and I'd said, had I have gone and bought like a 76 set of luminance from the Caran d'Ache website, waited a month, and after a month it still hadn't arrived, and I contacted Caran d'Ache and said, where is my product? Why is it not here? And then they turned around and said, oh, by the way, it's not coming to the UK because we have it on pause. Then people who had ordered from the UK would be quite angry at that and say, well, why didn't you say that at the point of sale? And I think that for me personally, that was my issue with what Derwent were doing. The second those reviews went out, people in the other countries who weren't getting them at that time would have known, right, Derwent are testing these pencils. There's a reason behind why they're testing them. In all probability, they will come out in the other countries soon, but just for now, that's what's happening. And I think if Derwent had done that, it would have been much easier. And the person I was talking to didn't exactly say, yeah, you're right, but they certainly listened to what I had to say. And with regards to communication to me, and I think it's happened to a couple of other people, when this other company that was doing all the contacting certain reviewers and stuff like that, when it all passed over, the new people at Derwent that were taking over that, a lot of details were lost, and so some of their kind of like more prominent reviewers, so to speak, were not. They weren't aware of who were their more prominent reviewers, who were the ones that do the best reviews for them, or whatever the criteria was. They just didn't have it. And so this person had said to me, we think that your details have been lost in that transition thing, and so going forward, if I've got any questions about Derwent products that are coming out or anything like that, I now have a direct line to this individual who spoke to me, who's really quite high up in Derwent. So it doesn't really change what's happening. These Chromaflow pencils will come to the UK. They don't have a date yet, but they have a timeline, and they're hoping like mid this year. But that could be subject to change. Obviously, if the Chromaflow that are being tested in the US don't go down well, and the people in India, the artists in India as well, don't take to these pencils and don't give them a good feedback, then the Chromaflow may never ever see the light of day. But for now, that's what they're doing. I personally just think that they've gone about it the wrong way. I think that they should have done exactly what was done with the Pro Color. Send the pencils out to whoever you want to send them out to. Say to them, give me all your feedback on these pencils. Let me know how you feel about these pencils, but don't put it online. And that would have saved all of this. But I'm at fault here as well. A big fault. I should never have put undue pressure on the agent that was originally assigned to me. I had no idea that this person was quite young. I had no idea that this person was quite new to the company. And when I was asking questions like, are these pencils real? Are they from Derwent? When are they coming out? Why are they not coming out in the UK and Canada and Australia and New Zealand and Europe? What's the reasoning behind this? And then when I got a thing, I then put the fear of God in this person by saying, right, okay, now that you've given me this email, can I show this email, not your personal address, but just the email, to the people that have emailed and messaged me? Can I just show them that this is the line from Derwent? This isn't me trying to cover for Derwent, which some people did think. And that person obviously was worried and rightfully frightened of me then turning around and saying, well, this is the Derwent official line, when it wasn't. So I'm at fault there. And I hold my hands up, and I've messed up monumentally with regards to that. The only saving grace is that as with all companies that I speak to, I never let anybody know the name of the people that I'm talking to. I don't even let you know whether it's male or female. So I just call them the agent, and it just sets a level playing field, so nobody can like point the finger or anything like that. And all the contacts that I have with these companies are not to be given out to the general public in any case. Occasionally I'll get a reviewer who might say to me, listen, Harry, who's your agent? Who's your contact with that company? In which case I'll pass that information along, but it's not information that gets put out to the general public. So that's where we are with the Chromaflow pencils. They do have, they are coming to the UK, Canada. I know they're on sale in Canada at the minute. I know that they're on Amazon, and that was the other thing that I had questioned as well. If this was a testing thing, why put them on Amazon in the US and India? Because then that means that the pencils were being opened up to just anybody, as opposed to streamlining the somebody put on the comment section here about beta testing, which is something that computer manufacturers do. They'll send out an operating system patch or a brand new operating system to other computer users to get them to test it and see if there's any bugs in it and stuff like that. Somebody mentioned that in the comments, and for the life of me, I can't remember your name. I'm really, really sorry. But that's exactly what was happening here. This was a beta test, but it was, in my opinion, it wasn't done the right way. And I think now Derwent can see not necessarily the mistakes that they've made, but the maybe going forward with a different product, they might do it a different way, rather than just putting it out there in the public and then just leaving it and just not saying anything about anything. But as this person admitted to me, the whole team is quite new. The direction that the company's going in is new. I should imagine that the new people that are in there are really trying to make a name for themselves, really trying to push the company on. And as this individual also said to me, you know, they will make mistakes. They know that. They just hope that when the mistakes are made, they can address them quickly and move on. So that's my update for you. That's what happened. So in fairness to Derwent, they reached out to me as soon as they got wind of this video. And the person I was talking to, you know, did say that when I sent that email and said to the other agent about, you know, sharing a screenshot of the email with the other people that had emailed me, had that email been sent to this person, the person that I was talking to on the phone, it probably would have been dealt with much faster and much more differently than what it was done. But like I say, again, that was my fault for putting undue pressure onto this agent, and I completely hold my hands up to that and apologise profusely to the agent in question, which I did as soon as I came off that call. I sent an email, not to the agent but to the person that I just spoke to, asking that person to please pass on my deepest apologies for causing any undue stress that I had done to that particular agent. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go. I think I've said my piece now about this whole thing, and I'm probably never going to speak about it again. I apologise for causing this unnecessary issue. I should never ever have put that video out in the first place. I should have kept my mouth shut and just let people debate what was going on, rather than sticking my oar in and getting involved in matters that didn't really concern me. And I apologise to everybody for that. Not just Derwent, but to everybody. Anyway, guys, I'll speak to you all soon. Okay? Thanks. Bye.